The Kamandi Challenge enlists DC's top writers and artists to revive the post-apocalyptic world of The Last Boy on Earth. We've got DC publisher Dan DiDio here to talk about revisiting the genius of Jack Kirby in issue number 1.
Kamandi was created during the days of when Planet of the Apes first hit, and it was DC's answer, or Jack Kirby's answer, to seeing what was going on with Planet of the Apes. The idea that humans were second-class citizens in the world and the apes ruled. In Kamandi's world, all the animals have sentience. All the animals rule better than the humans. So Kamandi is a kid trying to find his place in this world and trying to find his tribe, so to speak, to see where he exists and where he fits in the most. So it's this beautifully laid out story. So we took the idea that existed beforehand, which was the old DC challenge, and it's a little bit of a round robin. One creative team creates a story, leaves it on a cliffhanger, the next team picks it up, and it rolls down the hill. So what we did, we decided to apply that DC challenge idea to Kamandi. And what we did is we found actually 14 different creative teams over 12 issues, and they're actually going to hand the story, which takes Kamandi around the world, different places, but in each story ends on one cliffhanger where one team has to pick up from the next, resolve the cliffhanger, and then leave the story hanging for the next team. Basically, it's the simplest theme in the world. It's find your parents, save the world. And the trick is that he's going around the globe, following clues left by his parents. He's trying to find who they are, where they are, and how by finding them they will be able to solve whatever problems in the world itself.
Now, who are some of the writers and artists that are teaming up to do the Kamandi Challenge? And then I have a curious question. How did you decide who teams up with who?
Okay, well, you know what? I mean, in the very first issue, you've got Dan Abnett working with Dale Eaglesham. Then it moves over to Pete Tomasi and Neil Adams. Then from there, I think we go to Jimmy Palmiotti, Amanda Connor, and then I think we got James Tynion with Carlos Deanda, then Bill Willingham, Ivan Rice, and so on from there. And how it worked was completely different. Actually, the names were picked out of a hat. Random. It pulled out in order, the artist first, and then the writer second, and then the portion of the world they go to, and that set up the order of which their story was going to be told.
Nice. And last question, Dan. There's a fan in his comic book store. He sees the Kamandi Challenge. He looks at one of these covers. What would you say to that fan to make them pick up the book?
If you love a big summer blockbuster, if you love big adventure, if you love just the craziness of the world around you, I think this is a book for you. I think that's what this captured. And you got to remember, Kirby created a lot of material that's incredibly loved at DC, you know, from everything from the New Gods idea to the Demon, to so many other great characters. But Kamandi was his most successful run. I think what you'll see in the series, the reason why that series was so successful, it's just the level of imagination and scope. So many people want to be part of this that we found different ways to get everyone involved. But you'll see that each one of these person involved realizes that so much of what they do and how they become creators in comics was based on the stuff that Kirby created. And Kamandi's is one of those characters that is nearest and dearest to them, so they wanted to be part of it. And I think you see that love on every page.
That's your sneak peek at the Kamandi Challenge, so make sure you pick up issue number 1 today. And while you're at it, check out the premiere issue of The Odyssey of the Amazons, also available today. See you tomorrow, Super Friends.